Hello, hello, hello. I'm sorry I am a little bit late. I haven't been up here in a while. So it was like a tad bit of technical difficulties happening, but we are all good now. Let me just make sure that you guys can hear me. I got to check my microphone really quick. So, what's going on, guys? I know it has been such a long time. It has been probably a little over a year since I've been back up here. I think I popped back on to do something with the Love is Blind thing because I just couldn't let that go. But however, it has been so long. So, hey, beautiful souls, just welcome back to Love Therapies. And if this is my reboot, um, it's hard for me to reboot, and I'm so excited to be back with y'all. I left y'all without a dope beat to step to. You know what I mean? Like, how could I leave y'all like that? But I had to take a little break from the mic. Full transparency. I'm about to be back like I never left. That's number one. But full transparency. I just had to take some time away from myself. I had to take some time away to recalibrate. My spirit and my mind. I had to take time to recalibrate my life. And so I just kind of felt like you cannot talk to people from your hurt, and you cannot talk to people based off of what you've gone through. You kind of got to give that time to heal, go through, figure out what's going on, and then kind of recalibrate yourself. So I'm going to tell you, I got this download from Spirit yesterday at 3:30 in the morning. I woke up in the middle of the night and I was like, wait a second. Y'all have no idea how often I am woken up in the middle of the night at like about 3:30 or 4. And I toss and turn until, uh, thoughts come, and they just keep coming. They just keep coming. And I cultivate an idea, and then I get a notebook and sleep with one near my bed, and I write things down, and then I come up with a topic. So that's how I get the topics, y'all. So let me just make sure that this is live. Yes, it is. Perfect. Period. I had to make sure that this is live. So, y'all, I have been watching my timeline, right? Y'all know I have my notes because that's what I do here. I have been watching my timeline, and I have been seeing so much going on out here in these Facebook and Instagram and TikTok streets. I've been looking at my timeline. I've been seeing a lot of, just craziness, insanity. Everybody wants to be a relationship guru. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I am not new to this. I'm just true to this. My parents were relationship coaches. I knew at the age of 14 that I wanted to be one. And I just was mentored by my mom and my parents, and had to take a lot of counseling courses and things like that, and then ended up doing holistic life coaching. So that is the journey that I've taken myself on. I didn't just wake up one day and get a microphone. I've been teaching in church for years about biblical relationships. Since now I'm more still biblical, but more spiritual. So I've been watching my timeline. There's some things that I've been seeing, y'all, like, my God, today. Okay. So I've been seeing a lot of posts with men as it relates to women and how we choose. And it's weird because with men, it's the blind leading the blind. It's always a man giving another man an idea about a woman, and you know nothing about women. The same way it's usually women giving men advice about men, and they don't know nothing about men. We are all the blind leading the blind out here, and we're all kind of out here making a mess. That's the crazy part. Y'all, my dogs are wilding. Hold on one second, really quick. I'm sorry, they're at a window, like barking at another dog. Like, they're like this big. Like, what are y'all doing? So now they got to go in their beds. Like, it's insane. So anyway, I've been seeing a lot of posts as it relates to men with women. Okay. And I just came here to like set the record straight that all the women that are choosing are not choosing based on the same way. Okay. All choosing from women does not look the same. And guys seem to think it looks the same for all women. Like, I've been seeing generic posts from men. I'm going to quote, about women sleeping with them on the first date. That if a woman doesn't sleep with you on the first date, they don't like you. You not that guy if she don't give it up the first night. I'm talking about like just on and on and on and on. We're not offering you dates unless you sleep with us first. We're not paying for expensive meals because all women want is the food and not you, king. Stay woke, king. Yeah, I just have to stop right there really quick. That I know it probably makes you feel good, but we can pay for our own food. The lifestyles that we live are usually able to be lived whether you were there or not. So if I'm going to go to a restaurant and I'm going to order steak and lobster, I would have been able to order that whether you were there or not. No, there's different kinds of women out here. So the bottom line is you have to know who you're choosing, because there's some women out here that can't afford it and they're going to be up there asking for steak and lobster and they don't got it. But most women, whatever they would order from a menu, they're going to order anyway. So having said that, you're not doing much by paying for her food, okay? But we're not going to get into that because that's not what this is about. This is about the 3 doors of feminine selection today, y'all, okay? We got the womb, the heart, and the head, all right? So as I was woken up out of my slumber at 3:30 a.m. in the morning, as I usually am, with some type of thought, right? It came to me that we all choose men differently, right? So I said, okay, God, it's time for me to get started again. It's time for me to do the podcast, because as much as I get woken up in the middle of the night and write these notes down, I have podcasts for weeks that I could go off of. I just have been choosing not to, because again, I had to make sure that I was healed first. I had to make sure that I was not coming from a place of hurt, from a place of bitterness. It hasn't been recently now. It's been about a year that I have been broken up and no longer in a relationship and taking time for myself. And so it sucks because, you know, when you talk about relationships, people are like, well, how come it didn't work for you? Well, some people, you just can't change them. And as much as you change you, it won't change them. So it really doesn't matter. So all you got to know is you did your best and keep it moving. Okay. All right. So I realize that we as women, we are pulled in like 3 different directions as it relates to picking a mate or picking a man, right? When it comes to love. So the first thing I want to address is like when it says like, oh, if a woman don't sleep with you on the first date, you know, you're not the one, king, or she don't like you like that. It's not that simple for women. I know y'all think that we are as primal as you guys are, but we deal with a lot more different things than y'all do. Okay. So we don't just fall for a man. We have to feel him in 3 parts of our body. So that starts with our womb, it starts with our heart, and it starts with our head. So it's all 3 beings at the same time. So let's start and let's just like give you a basic synopsis of the womb choice, right? So the first one is the womb. The womb is like more where primal attraction lives. Okay. It's nothing really deep about it. It's just primal. It's instinctual. Then we have the heart, and that is where love and devotion are stirred up at. Okay. And then the third one, we have our head, and that is where logic and reasoning lives at, and alignment ends up leading in that way. All right. So many of us as women have had to choose one or the other. Or we'll have some that have like 2 and you don't have the third one. For the most part, it's very hard for people to find someone that offers them all 3. It is out there, but you have to wait patiently for it. It's not one of those things that just come. It has to be attracted to you. Okay. So today we're going to talk about the 3 sacred choices and how each of those choices mirror back the woman you are and the woman that you are becoming. And it also mirrors why you chose him in that way. So it's good if men were to listen to this too, because then they would know the phase of life that the woman is in that chose them and why they chose them. And they won't be so confused as to the woman's actions during it. Y'all know that I low-key cannot see. Okay. So these are going to go on and off in a minute as we go. So let's get to our first choice, which is our womb choice. Okay. It's the primal pull. It is our primal door. The womb choice, y'all. I mean, you know, YouTube, I'm not trying to get monetized on YouTube. I just want y'all to get the information, but the womb choice. Let me just explain to y'all something about the womb choice. And I know y'all all are going to know what I'm talking about when I talk about it. The womb choice is raw chemistry. Okay. It is guttural. It is primal. It's instinctual. It is electrically magnetic. It is extreme chemistry, based on genetic makeups, DNA codes that we don't even know about. Um, it aligns with the sacral chakra, which is like all of your X organs, okay? All of your parts, your lady parts and the masculine parts. It aligns with that chakra. The womb choice is the man who activated your body before your mind and emotions caught up. So this is the guy that when you're out, right? And you go, he walks in and he's with his friends and you're with your friends and you go, oh my God, who is that guy? Oh my God, if he was to come over here, I would fold like a lawn chair. Like whatever your rules are, whatever your standards are, whatever your boundaries are, you would throw out for that man. So let's say you were the girl that's like, I don't sleep with people on the first date. Oh yeah, for him you would. Okay. Oh, for him, you fold like an origami. Okay. For him, you be tossed up, ankles to your ears. You won't know what's happening. You'll look up and be like, what just happened? And how did he get me to do that? That is a womb choice. Okay. That is the guy that you're like, I don't even understand because he didn't do nothing. He didn't say nothing. He didn't work for it. He didn't earn it. Okay. He didn't take you out on no days. He didn't kiss you on no cheek. He wasn't loving and affectionate. He was none of those things. He literally showed up and your body just did all types of things and wanted to do all types of more things. Okay. So this is the problem though. All guys want to be a womb choice. And that's why they can make doofy comments online and say, well, she don't sleep with you on the first date. You ain't it, king. You're not a womb choice for her. Doesn't mean you're not a choice. You're just not that particular choice. That particular choice is activated by reasons unknown. No one knows why the chemistry is as such. Okay. So he activates something almost ancient within you. You don't even understand why you act in the way you act around him. You don't understand why he didn't have to do no work. You don't understand why you threw out your entire rule book, your entire playbook for him. You don't know why you did it. You just know, I don't know why this man do this to me. That is a womb choice, okay? And a lot of women, the problem that we have is that we don't understand us enough to understand why we're making these choices. I know a womb choice when I see one. I just know what it is because I know me. And I know principles and I know my body and I know, codes and ancient sacral rituals. So it's kind of like, I know what that is and I'm gonna stay away from that. Now, does that mean it's wrong? No, but the problem with the men is they think that they supposed to be a womb choice for everybody and you ain't. You're not. You're not that for every woman. And it's okay, kings. It's okay. You don't gotta be the womb choice for her. All right. But I'm just explaining to you what a womb choice is. All right. It's a magnetic pull that you can't always explain. All you know is you've seen them. And it's not a womb choice, but they have those same choices when they see us. Like that same magnetic pull, they'll get it for certain women over others. We can't help it. We don't know what it is. It's just chemistry. It is science. It is something that we'll never be able to explain. Dare I even say it's spiritual? I know your ankles be to the ceiling, feet, toes to the ceiling, ankles to your ears, but at day's end, it is because we don't understand why it is. Okay. It's very sensual. It's very instinctive and it's damn near lust. Okay. Leading the way. You don't understand it. It's a feeling that you can't necessarily describe. I mean, like girls in a group chat, you could describe, you'd be like, girl, because we know what we know when we're talking about it. But if you were just trying to explain it in layman's terms, there's really no explanation for it. Okay. This man, I'm going to tell you really quick though, this man could be dangerous for you. The reason why is because we're usually not ready for this level of magnetism. We're not ready for what this level of magnetism can do to our mind, our heart, our bodies. And we almost 100% of the time end up ruining it. The reason we ruin it is because it's based in a little bit of fear at the most part, like because you don't understand why you feel this way about someone who did nothing for you. It's a womb choice. All you know is that your womb inside of all of your sacral chakra was activated when you saw him, when you met him. Okay. And so that can be a dangerous union because you're going in blind, girl. You don't know what's happening. All you know is all of these emotions and these pheromones and these hormones are going through your body and you don't understand why. So we ruin it almost immediately by having good times, good moments with them, and then be like, well, what is this? What does this mean? What are we? And he like, wait, what? Because he don't know either. It's primal for him too. Okay. The man is instinctively attracted to you as well, and you are primarily and instinctively attracted to him, but it will incite a little bit of fear. So let me give you the pros to this type of relationship. All right. This relationship is that there's always going to be electrifying passion in it. It's going to be electric. It is going to be magnetic. It is going to curl your toes. It is going to be everything you ever wanted it to be. All right. It's going to be deep sexual compatibility. It is going to awaken a wild woman within you. It is going to awaken all of the things that you never did with anybody else. It's going to be like you were like the girl like in class that was like a nerd, and now all of a sudden he got your hair down and he got you wilding and throwing everything back. You don't understand why you're doing it. You just know that you are and you're enjoying it. Okay. You feel almost outside of yourself with this person. You're kind of like, I don't even know what this is, and I don't feel like me when I'm with them. And it almost makes you throw out all of the boundaries that society has placed on us as women, that says like, you know, you're not supposed to do this on the first date, and you're not supposed to give him this, and don't give this up, and don't stay out too late, and a lady doesn't do this, and a lady doesn't do that. This womb choice will make you throw all that out the window. Okay. You're going to go in there and knock all this fish over. All right. It's a very distinctual attraction. The cons of this particular relationship is that it lacks emotional or intellectual sustainability. Like, yeah, y'all got all this chemistry, but then at days in and at the end of it all, y'all don't got nothing to talk about. Y'all don't have much in common. Your lives aren't aligned in that way, which can make it confusing because you're like, why do we have so much chemistry? But when it comes to living our real life, we can't make it work. That is because for a woman, it was your womb choice. Okay. It's almost like this is all we have and everything else lacks, right? You could bypass all the red flags because of oxytocin blindness. Like, all the feel-good hormones, the oxytocin, the serotonin, the dopamine is all risen in your body. And so you'll ignore all of the things that you wouldn't normally ignore if you kept your boundaries together. All right. This relationship can drag you through the mud emotionally too. So you're feeling all these feelings, you're loving all these things about him, you're instinctively attracted to him. But for whatever reason, the relationship is wearing you down and it's bothersome to you and it's making you weary. And that's because it's your womb choice. Okay. These choices, I'm going to say something that seems contradictory in the beginning and the end, but the womb choice usually you don't end up with. And you got to know that. The womb choice is supposed to usually stay exactly where it's at, unless you are the same choice for him, and then you can grow it from there. But if he is your womb choice and you are just a conquer for him, it'll never work. So this is another thing about womb choices. They're usually womb choices for multiple women. It's not just you. So you're thinking, oh my God, I don't know how he make me feel this way. Guess what? A ton of other women feel the same way. There is something about his energy that's primal. And so it's because it's so animalistic, you don't understand why you have it, but neither do she. So you also got to understand that as well. Okay. You might always be competing for this guy and this guy really don't got no reason to settle down because he got his pick of the litter. Like, why would I settle down? I can have you, her, Keisha, Donna, Michelle, Lydia. Like he can rotate whoever you wanted. So this is not always the best choice, all right? And sometimes lastly, it can be rooted in trauma bonding or like a karmic lesson for you so that you know exactly what it's supposed to be. I feel like as women, if we understood this and when we met a guy and this happened, you would know exactly what category to put him in, place him in, and understand when it's supposed to end versus when it's not. And you wouldn't be emotionally attached to the outcome of it. You would understand exactly what it is and you would keep it right there. Okay. The womb choice shows up as a shadow mirror for you. It's usually from your shadow self. Everything you always wanted to do, but you were ashamed to do it. Everything that you always might had a fantasy about, but you would have been shunned if you told people. That's where this comes from. Okay. So you have to ask yourself, is this choice coming from your desire, where you confuse your desire with being loved versus just being desired in general? Okay. So you got to know the difference. Like, it's easy for a woman to be desired. It's easy for a guy to desire us physically or sexually, but it's not necessarily every guy is not going to love you and want to provide and protect for you. All right, so the next choice for us is the heart choice. The heart choice is all about love and comfort and emotional reassurance, your inner child safety, feeling safe with this person, feeling affection with this person. This is the man you meet and he feels like home to you. You meet him and you're like, oh my God, he feels so familiar to me. It was just effortless. It was easy. We didn't have to work at it. He was so loving and affectionate and provided so much devotion to me that it was so easy to love him back. You love this guy, flaws and all, and you end up pouring back into him as well. This is a heart choice. Because of this level of devotion that he has to you, he's the one that you can see yourself raising kids with. You can see yourself growing old with him. You feel safe and secure and provided for with this guy. This is the guy that offers love and affection and works on himself, and he's tender and he's a family man, and he wants the dream, the house with the kids and the dog and the picket fence. He wants all of those things. He's honored to have a wife. He wants a wife. He wants to be able to say my wife. He feels pride in taking care of his family. He feels pride in coming home to his family. He feels pride in being able to provide and protect for his family. He loves being able to say, let me go ask my wife, even though he probably don't have to ask her. He loves being able to say it. He loves coming home to her. He likes the stability of it. He likes that she feels like home to him, and she provides peace for him. So this is a heart choice, right? The womb choice, not so much. He's nowhere close to this guy. He's not even in the same arena as this guy. And for whatever reason, we be mixing these two guys up. We don't be realizing that the womb choice and the heart choice, they ain't usually the same choice, y'all. All right. The womb choice is all about conquering women. He likes to just be with women. He loves women, actually, right? And then he goes about his business unless he meets somebody that's his primal choice as well, like we discussed. So this man, that the heart choice is safe. He's safe for you and the children. He's not going to hurt you. He's not going to blatantly go out there and just hurt you and mess the family up. Unfortunately, though, this is why guys call us crazy, but we're not. These are real things, y'all. Unfortunately, this is where guys will be like, she don't even know what she wants. She don't even know. No, you know what I mean? I'm up here providing. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And then here she go. She want the guy that's gonna. Two different choices for two different reasons that activate two separate parts of our being. Hush. Sorry, y'all. I had to. My Yorkie be wild. Okay. This relationship right here, though, as safe as it seems and as loving as it is, it can literally lose its electrifying magnetism because it's so comfortable and because it's so safe and because you don't gotta try. It's almost effortless. It comes effortlessly that you don't gotta do much to make it work. So most people don't. They end up becoming really vanilla in it. They come home every day. Hi, honey, I love you. Where's the kids? Where's the babies? Okay, let's sit. Let's watch our movie. We go to bed. The passion, the electrifying magnetism, that doesn't always show up for the heart choice. So this is where the guys will be like, you know how you see guys online and they be like, she got the whole world and then she'll go cheat on them with this guy. It's not that that's what she wanted to do. It's not that that's what he wanted to do. It's just that because it was missing that part, everybody wants to feel that electrifying passion at some points at another in your long-term relationship. Okay. And you got to find a way to cultivate it. Though this is the best choice to end up with, because the electrifying, the magnetism, the passion, that can be cultivated. That can be grown. All you got to do is be like, yo, listen, we're going to put they got card games out for it now. You know what I mean? You put something in a hat. Listen, on Fridays, we're going to pick something out the hat and this is what we're going to do. And then really do it, if you don't allow yourself to get comfortable like that, you won't. And you won't allow it to get boring and mundane. But this is the one that can get there. But this is the one that's the best relationship that will end up long term. Okay. The pros of this relationship is there's a deep emotional bond. There's a deep respect and honor of one another in the relationship. There is a deep love and devotion to one another to last for the longevity of it, the long haul. Like this is literally the to death do us part, sickness and in health relationship. You want to find this one. The cons of this particular relationship, though, is that one, like I said, it could get boring, right? It doesn't have that magnetism, but your heart can override your logic and boundaries sometimes with it too, especially for women, meaning that you can meet a guy and you feel this way about him and he's so loving and affectionate, but he has a lot of inner work to do. And you'll overlook that because of how loving and how devoted and affectionate he is with you. You'll overlook that he can't keep a job. You'll overlook that he's irresponsible. You might overlook that he might not be the best at raising children based on certain things within him. You might realize that he doesn't take a lot of accountability for the family. So you'll overlook these things because of the fact that he's so loving and devoted to you, that your heart will end up overriding your mind. All right. And it could pave a way for a hard life for us. And we'll have a lot of lessons to learn while you're with them. And I'm not going to hold y'all. I've had a womb choice and I've had a heart choice. And I'm going to tell you that honestly, if you could blend the two together, it will be the best thing. But if you only got one, you're going to suffer a little bit in both relationships sometimes. Okay. You can also become easily codependent in this relationship. Sometimes it could be beautiful, but you can become easily codependent because it's so safe. It's so easy. You almost feel like it's like a brother or a sister. Not to say it like that, but you feel so comfortable like home that it can just become like we're besties now. And we go everywhere together. We do everything together. We grocery shop together. You don't have a life outside of each other. And that's fine. But then if something happens to the other one, it's devastation for the other one. And I feel like that's what my parents had. Like they really didn't need anybody else. They literally were each other's best friend. They went and did every single thing together. I think I've never seen them apart. Even if I seen my mom in the grocery store or my dad in the grocery store, the other one was in the car. They never left the house without the other one. They never went to events without the other one. It was never like I'm going here, you could stay home. It just wasn't a thing. But when my mom passed away, my father lost his whole entire life and had to learn to rebuild that entire thing all over again. Like, I'm not going to hold your eyes to say, I hope that they pass together because I didn't see how they would live without the other one. And sometimes that can happen as well. Okay. So now we're going to talk about the head choice. All right. And this is the one that guys get real mad at y'all. This is the one that caused them to eat us up all the time. So the head choice, this is the strategic door. This is the door that the woman goes in when she's been burned before, hurt before. She's very independent, has her own career, possibly makes her own money, doesn't really need him for anything. She can even fit in this category. This relationship aligns with logic, alignment, and partnership. It is a very masculine entry into a relationship for a woman. Most women go into a relationship either sexually or with their heart. When a woman goes into a relationship logically and she's like, he makes sense, it's going to be a different kind of relationship for her. So this is the one that the men be speaking on when they're complaining about the gold diggers. Like, there's girls that are literally out here and they're not looking for love. They're not looking for devotion. They don't even care what you require of them. They're only looking for survival. They're only looking for what they can get out of it. This is one girl in the category. She's looking for what she could get out of it, what free meal she can get, how she could get them to trick off on her, what bag she could get from this guy versus that guy. She will rotate guys. It's a logical choice for her. She might, she might pit them against each other to get them to compete for her. She doesn't really necessarily want to settle down with anybody. She likes it like this. She's very masculine in nature in that way. She might look pretty. She might be petite. She might have nice makeup on. She might have a nice body, but she's masculine in nature because she moves like a man. She moves without her heart. She moves without devotion. She moves without loving feelings. She moves based on provision and survival. And she's going to get what she needs to get out of a guy. And she's learned how to get those things from him. Because y'all, it's very easy. I ain't gonna, like, come on. Like, we got, tell the truth and just shame that women know how to get what we want from a guy. All you gotta do is, I'm not going to tell the secrets, but it's not that much you got to do. Okay. It takes a little seduction, a little manipulation, a little bit of, submission or even perceived submission. It's not really hard. So women can be out here and literally make a fool out of men. So guys have to be careful with that, like giving their best and their all. And this girl could be a headhunter. She's not in it for you. She's in it for what you can do for her. There are some women out here that are kind of like kept women. And if you don't do it, another guy will, you can be giving your blood, sweat, tears, heart, love, and soul. And the moment you stop, there's another guy waiting in line to do it for her. And it's easy for her to get it. It's not hard. This is the woman that might, and this is a certain type of woman. I'm going to bring up two different kinds of women. This particular woman is the woman that might be on Backpage or OnlyFans or Skip the Games. She's like, I'm doing what these guys is doing. You want it, you paying for it. You want it, you giving me something. This is what's making men mad. And they're like, oh, if you want a date from me, then you got to give it up first. You better go talk to her because that's the girl's doing it. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Y'all got to know what girls you're dealing with when you're dealing with them, okay? You got to know what's in front of your face. And unfortunately, discernment is not necessarily a masculine gift. It's a feminine gift. But you got to have some type of survival instinct that says this girl out to get me. She about to get me for all I got. And don't put the other women in the same category as her. That's not fair to us. It's not fair to the women that are out here working hard, doing inner work, remaining feminine, keeping themselves up, understanding that the guy is the leader and the head of the household, understanding respect and boundaries and things like that. It is not fair to put these women in the category of the girl that said, if you want it, you got to pay for it. That's crazy. And yet you have so many people with a microphone that are saying, guys, especially now, yeah, all women are good for sex. Who told you? What women do y'all deal with? Because for the most part, your woman is the nurturer of the home. Your woman makes the house a home. Okay. The house is cold, dark, and lonely without a woman there. Okay. The wife is a soft place to land. She should be peaceful when you get there. The wife is the spiritual manifester of the house. The wife is the one that prays. The wife is the one that has the womb energy that manifests for y'all life. Y'all gotta understand, which my next topic will be, is our financial contribution and how we get finances different than y'all's, but it doesn't make it wrong or right. It doesn't make it better or worse. It's just different. But we are the spiritual porters in this portals in this universe. The seed gets planted in us. We birth it. So having said that, when the guy plants a seed, whether it is a physical seed, then we birth a child. But when a guy births a spiritual seed, meaning that he tells us our vision, he tells us his visions, he tells us his goals, he tells us what he wants to do, what he feels his purpose is, and he plants those things in us on a regular basis. The way that our bodies and minds are set up is we are going to help and assist make that happen. And we're not going to help and assist make it happen by being a financial contribution. Like, y'all got to go 50-50. No, we're going to make it happen. I'm sorry, my father done came downstairs. I don't know, he's sloshing around in slippers. We're going to make it happen by praying. We're going to make it happen because we're the visualizers of the home. We're going to make it happen because we're the visionaries. We can see things. Y'all understand why they say women are delusional? Because we see things that aren't there. Y'all can't have it one way and not the other. If we're delusional, period, right? Which means that if you tell us that this is your dream or your goal, we're going to see that for you too. And we're going to be like, oh my God, he can be that. And as long as we can see it for you and we're now committed as one, it's going to happen for you. I don't want to be that. You want to be that, but I can still help assist to make that happen. So men have to understand the power that having a good woman next to them has for them. Okay. But they so busy being resentful of the fact that God made us different. I mean, we all got 2 eyes, 2 ears, a nose, a mouth, 2 arms, 2 legs. But we're not the same species, and how we move in this world is not supposed to be the same. It's supposed to be equal, opposite, and complementary. So what you're good at, we're usually not. What we're good at, you're not. God made it this way by design. It's not, he didn't make a mistake. He wasn't like if that's the case, everybody would be women or everybody would be men. There would be no reason to have 2 separate species. There's animals out here that are asexual and they can produce by themselves. They don't need a second party. So this was made by design. We can't help it that God made us the spiritual portal and he made you the physical portal. We can't help that. We can't help that y'all got to work with your hands to get the money and we work with our minds and our creativity and our spirits to get the money. We can't help that. Listen, it's above us now. Talk to God, okay? We can't help that sometimes things spiritually manifest for us faster because we are the spiritual manifestors. So sometimes things manifest for us faster because, again, spirituality says death and life are in the power of the tongue. Spirituality says you have to have faith the size of a mustard seed. Spirituality says if you see it, you can be it. You see it, you could do it. If you see it, it's already done. We're the ones that can see it. Sorry. Our minds are made different. You guys deal with a linear, more logical brain. We deal with a more emotional, fluctuating, moving, flowing brain, which makes it easier for us. We can't help our genetic makeup and our codes and how we were made. And we shouldn't have to apologize for it because we're in your lives for a reason. Okay. Now, once you start getting the women that's like, oh, he wanted, he got paid for it. I mean, she's being creative. Well, how's she gonna make her money? I mean, I can't knock her hustle. I wouldn't do it, but I'm not gonna really knock her hustle. Just y'all, you gotta be careful about being around these ones. When you start hearing certain things women say, if she'd be like, well, I'm not doing this unless he buys me this or unless the meal is this. Like if you have a girl that don't let you take her to the Cheesecake Factory, drop her off. What makes you think you're so worth getting a meal at Fleming's or Ruth Chris And I just met you. What? I told y'all the table conversation getting on my nerves. Okay. What you bring to the table. I am the table. And then as soon as you get to the table, the guy like, what you bring to the table? Sir, I'm already at the table. Guys want something pretty to look at. You know, they used to have something called a muse back in the day. And what a muse was it was inspiration for men. So it was literally just pretty women being around while men were making business moves because it was inspiration to them. Do y'all know that a lot of business deals are actually made in the strip club? And it's not even that they're looking at the strippers, they're really talking to each other, but it's the energy, it is the feminine energy around them that's causing them to be productive. Y'all ever been in high school and you go to the basketball court and then the guys is chilling by themselves and they playing basketball, and as soon as the girls come, they try to start going sick and running and jumping and dunking all crazy? All guys produce better when women are around, period. If there was no women, then guys are okay with the bare minimum. When there is women, it causes them to up his ante a little bit. Guys, if there was no women, a guy would be comfortable with having a roommate. He wouldn't even need his own place. He would be comfortable with an air mattress on the floor and a TV on a crate, because all he want to do is go to work, come home to something comfortable and a hot food. With a woman, you know, you really can't live like that. So you're going to work harder to get nicer things so that the woman could be there, because we don't want to live like that. So, having said that, don't be mad and blame all of us for the women that are using y'all. They have no intentions of loving you. They have no intentions of pouring into you. They have no intentions of anything except for taking. Don't put all the women in the same category, okay? Don't do that to us. That's not fair, because I can't stand when women say, well, men and all y'all men. No, because all men are not like that. Just because he cheated on you don't mean he gonna cheat on you. But let me get back to that. But anyway, so that's your first type of woman that makes a head choice. The one that's very logical and she's more masculine in how she moves, right? She's a gold digger. The other part of the woman, a separate kind of woman that makes this logical choice, is the one that has been burned before. She's been hurt before. She's put her heart on the table. It's been stomped. Okay. She's put her heart first and it's been crushed. She's given her all in a couple of relationships and she made bad choices in men. So now this guy is a good choice. He makes sense. He checks the boxes. Okay. Good job. Good looking. Decent sex. He don't want no kids. I don't either. He checks the boxes. And so she makes a decision. He has enough money to provide. I have money too. We put our money together. We have an easier life. The problem with this relationship is that he likes you. You like him. Y'all love each other. And, you care about each other immensely. But there's no womb choice here. And there's no heart choice here. And this woman, she might feel like she has her own. She might feel like she has everything she needs on her own. A house, a car, good money, good job, good career. But she just doesn't have really anybody next to her to say that's her guy. So they when there's events, she has somebody to go with. When there's dinner, she got somebody to sit across the table from her. He doesn't really do it for her though. It's not electric. It's not magnetic. She's just there. He makes sense. He might help her with her kids or whatever. She got some kids that ain't even his. He doing his best by him. She's like, it's nice. She appreciates him some days. Some days she may not, because there's no electric energy there, and that's unfortunate. But those relationships happen all the time too. And then once again, the women that are in the middle that make the hard choices, we get blamed for the women making the logical choice or the gold digging choice. All right. Love may not even be on the table. She might just like him a lot, care about him a little bit. So this woman is looking for the man that makes sense. That's it. He just got to make sense. He look good next to her. He could put on a suit if he needed to. He not in the streets. He not out here embarrassing her either. So it all makes sense for her. She doesn't usually feel crazy in love, but you feel safe and secure. He's a choice made from wisdom as well. He might be a choice made after she's made bad choices in the past. So she's like, well, he kind of looks different than everything I've ever been with. So I guess. I mean, I chose that guy before and chose Tyrone, and Tyrone did me dirty. Then I went over to James over here, and James did me dirty. Now you're trying to do something so different than what you did before, but there's no magnetism there. And some women will feel like, we just got to do it like that. Like nobody feels like they can have it all, but I'm here to tell you can. Okay. So the pros of this is that it's long-term compatibility because you guys, I don't say you both settle, but you're kind of both okay with it just being okay. You don't need it to be electrifying. You don't need it to be great. You just okay with it being good. Like I could die like this with it just being good. It's low drama in the relationship. Y'all don't really argue about anything. Everything's kind of like mundane. It's high reliability. He'll be there for you. You'll be there for him. It's almost contractual, basically. Like, you do this, I'll do that. We'll both be here for each other. It will always support your goals and your lifestyle. He'll be there for you. You'll be there for him. The cons of this relationship is that there's no chemistry. So it can be very mundane and boring. But if the person's not looking for anything extra, it might be okay. But this is the relationship that could get so boring. And then when she finally goes out and she might go on a girls' night with her friends and sees her womb choice, it will activate something in her and it can be dangerous for the relationship. Okay. It can lack soul contracts. It'll lack like a soul connection in general. And it may cause inner conflict with you in general, just because you don't feel anything. Your heart or your womb, neither one of them is engaged. So you're kind of moving through the relationship numb, because neither one of the things that activate the feminine energy are being activated in this relationship. So this man sometimes can be chosen out of fear too, because you don't want to make your heart, you don't want to hurt your heart again or have a heartbreak. Yeah. I have a fur chair and all the fur is in my mouth. It's crazy. Let's talk about Cardi B really quick, right? I don't like talking about celebrity stuff a lot because I don't care about them. They got their money. They got their life. I'm still trying to get mine, okay? But for learning purposes, I am truly interested and invested because there's always a lesson to be learned. And with the Cardi B situation, if I was her and I was her life coach or something, I'd be like, Cardi B to the front office, please. Let's go. And the reason why is because you were with Offset. Offset cheated. Offset had high status. Offset was a rapper. Now you're with Stefon Diggs, who's an athlete. We all know that athletes and rappers are the same caliber of men, just in a different arena. He is not going to be, you left one unfaithful man to get with another. So if you were going to stay and be with an unfaithful man, you should have been with the unfaithful man that you got kids with. At least you would have kept your family together. This doesn't make sense to me. If you're going to leave, like, case in point, Tiana Taylor. Tiana Taylor, who was she with? Dang, I can't remember his name. My God. My memory is bad. But yeah, y'all know who Tiana Taylor was married to. She is now with Aaron Pierre. That's Mufasa. Smart. Something totally different than what she had. She didn't go get the same man wrapped in a different face. But that's what Cardi did. She typed slow to me. Like, if you're going to leave, okay, it's one thing to be dating. It's another thing to leave your marriage because of disrespect and cheating. And this is how the guy is going to do me. And then don't go get with someone publicly that's the same type of guy. Now, if you out here trying to have fun with a womb choice, keep that thing under wraps, quiet. Cause then, you just doing that to have some little fun. He ain't about to be around. He ain't about to stay here for long. He just around, he here for a good time, not a long time. But you literally out here posting, running to the car together, kissing in front of the paparazzi. Like, y'all bugging. No, Cardi, to the front office. Because what are you doing? No. What are you doing? So I'm not a fan, but Teyana Taylor, I'm with it because something totally different than what she had. Treats are different, looks different, walks different, dresses different. Everything is different. And you can tell that she's there and she feels safe. And it's a different kind of relationship. No, it doesn't have that activated electric womb choice energy, but it does have heart choice energy in it. You can almost see it. So that's what I'm talking about. Like, you don't gotta settle for just one, but you gotta cultivate the other ones. Okay. So do I believe, let's just talk about me now. Do I believe that, we can have both love and stability? And you got to ask yourself that too. Like, do you believe, if you're single, if you're married, you in here. Okay. But if you're single, do you believe you can have both love and stability? Or do you got to sacrifice one for the other? Because most people do. They think if you have did y'all ever see the show called Sex Life? And there was a scene in the movie where the professor said to her, what gives you so much love and safety and security can't be the same situation that gives you that electrifying passion. And do you believe you can have both? And she was like, I want to. And it was very hard to cultivate her husband into being what the other one was. But in the end, she ended up having both, with the guy that she was the womb choice and her heart choice. So I do believe you got both. Most women just try to choose one, okay? But the true path for women should be conscious integration. We should be trying to consciously integrate all three parts of our being in a relationship. And not just because one is activated over the other one. Okay, let's say I get with, we're not going to talk about the womb. Let's say I get a heart choice. Then I can cultivate it to be a womb choice. You can cultivate that. You can grow that. You can cultivate it to being a head choice once you see where he's at in life and what he's doing, what alignment y'all have, okay? Can we find or become women who allow all parts of us to speak at one time? Like, that is the key in life, is becoming a balanced woman yourself. The reason that we feel like we got to choose one or the other is because usually we're operating in one or the other ourselves. We're either out here wilding, horny, doing anything, womb choicing. We're so much in love that we throwing red flags and logic and head choices out the window, or making head choices because we've been so hurt before that we're afraid to be vulnerable again. We have to learn to successfully integrate all three parts of our being: our head, our heart, and our womb. They both got to activate, which is why I've been off the mic all this time, because I had to figure out how to activate all three of those again so that I could be in a successful relationship that can cultivate all three, or at least be able to see if it's able to cultivate all three, or be like, nah, not so much, not you, sorry. Because when I tell you, the inbox be popping and it just be like, turn off. The stuff they say, the things they do, the things that I see online, the things that they write, the way that they approach you, it's like all weird. Like, who raised y'all? Or you think you're talking to a different kind of woman. And unfortunately, that's sad, but it's going to go unanswered. It's going to go seen and nothing, because there is a distinct key. Certain things I got to see, certain things I got to know. We live in a small town. You hear stuff about people, and there's certain things you got to see and certain things you got to know before you make decisions. You got to see it first. And even if you are inside of a decision already, let's say, we're not going to talk about marriage right now, okay? But if you're in a relationship and you've gotten into one and you're not married, right? That thing's not, you got to stay in that till death do you part. Like, I don't understand what part of our lives where we feel like if we leave, we're a bad person, or I put in all this time and I can't leave now, or, we've invested this much and we've done this together, I can't leave. If it's not working, it's not working, and it's not going to work in the future. You're just going to end up getting married, then divorced. If you act like a divorced couple or a couple that's if you were married, you would look like you were on your way to divorce. Don't get married. That's foolish. So if you're realizing that there is an extreme lack of alignment, it doesn't matter how long you've been together. It's okay to let it go. It's fine. It's okay. You don't got to stay in something just because it looks bad if you don't. Like, listen, I've learned over these years that you only get one life. You only get one, okay? You get to get up and live every day, but you only get one life. Why would I want to stay somewhere I'm not happy or that doesn't align with the person that I am? If I'm a happy, positive person, I don't want to be with somebody that's sullen and downcast and negative and narcissistic or schizophrenic or borderline personality disorder. I don't want to be with that. I don't want to wake up every day and you're in a bad mood and I'm in a good mood. Like, and I'm like, dang, like, what happened to you? You only went to sleep? Like, Jesus. Or somebody that feels like being nice to you is a chore. You like, oh, you know, I'm doing my best. I'm being a good person to you. I didn't know that was going to be work. I thought that was what we were supposed to do because we love each other, right? Like, be good people to each other. That's what I thought, you know? So as a woman, try to activate all three parts of yourself just so that you could attract the type of person you want. All right. Has anybody ever chosen a man just because their womb was like, oh God, yes, him? I feel like we all have at some point, right? Or you choose the guy that your heart adored so much, you know, you just loved him so much, but your life just couldn't align with him. Like, you loved him, but y'all lives, is something about it that when you get together, it just don't work. You know, when you're not together, it seems like, oh, we would be great together. Then you get together and you're like, no. Or like the man who make perfect sense, but your body and soul and loving feelings are mad silent there. You're just like, he's okay. And everybody's like, no, he's a good guy to you. You see? And you're like, I tried to like it. It's nice. But it's something about it. It just don't do it for you. So when these things are happening, you got to like ask yourself what's happening. And you also got to realize that people change, y'all. Everybody's not the same all the time. Life situations happen. Big detrimental situations happen. I remember after my fire, my perspective, first of all, my mom passed away. And that was crazy. My entire perspective of life and how I lived changed. And it caused me to be very, very, very different. So the things that I would sacrifice and not do for fear of making my partner mad, that was out the window now because like, I got to live. I can't live because it might upset somebody else. I got to live and do what makes me a little bit happy. And it's not like I'm out here wilding or being disrespectful, but just because you don't happen to like it doesn't necessarily mean I want to stop because it makes me happy. And I only get this one life. My mother died very young and still vibrant. So it was hurtful. Then my house burned down and I lost everything. So that shows you that everything could be gone in a blink of an eye. I went to work with everything that I ever had and I came home to nothing, not one thing. We only had what we wore that day left. That's it. My dog smelled like a barbecue. My son had on a wife beater, basketball shorts, and slides. I had on a tan like sweatsuit with a camel kind of sweater. It was in the winter. It was January, and some boots. That's all we had left. My son had on a uniform for school. My 9-year-old. That's all we had left. We had nothing else. So like, yeah, I ended up burning the outfit too because I was like, everything else went in the fire. You might as well go too. Fresh start for everything. But your perspective on life and how everything could be gone in a blink of an eye. You could be gone in a blink of an eye. So not that you shouldn't stay somewhere unhappy, but like make good choices. And as people change in relationships, change and try to align together so that the three choices continue to align. Okay. So lately I've been on this journaling kick, right? For myself and just giving myself prompts for self-awareness, right? So I have one for you today. So the journaling prompt, if you like to journal, that I would like to give you today, if you're single, if you're married, unfortunately, this is not the prompts for you. Okay. But what choice have I made the most often in my relationships? And what is it trying to show me? Like, if you're the type of woman that keeps choosing the same guy, or you're the type of woman that keeps choosing the same exact guy. So you could be the type of woman that keeps choosing the same kind of guy, or you could be the type of woman that keeps choosing the same guy who keeps showing you that he has not shifted. If you're that person, what is it trying to show you about you? Because there's a part of you that still likes it. There's a part of you that still aligns with it. Whether we want to admit it or not, it's there. It's there. And what would it feel like to be in a relationship that activates all three? Like, you're logical, you make sense for me. I just adore you and I love you so much. And I'll fold like a lawn chair for you. Best relationship you could ever have. You just got to be willing to build it. You got to be willing to cultivate that thing. You got to be willing to work at it. Relationships don't come easy, y'all. They take work. Love is not enough. It's not, and it never will be, because love is a fleeting feeling. You could love somebody one day, you can't stand them the next. So that's when work comes in. Work comes in when it's like, I love you, but right now you're just a womb choice for me. I don't even care. Like, this is go in a room and turn the lights off. I don't even want to talk to you. I just want a part of you. And cultivate that. Guys love that. They'll never be upset about that. They'll be so glad for you in the morning. Everything will probably work itself out. All right. So I'm going to post some afterthoughts in my Divine Feminine group because I am going to be back doing them. I'm not going to say I'm going to do them every week. I'm probably going to do them every 2 weeks just because of the way that my life is going and how much work I be doing. I might not have the time, but if I do it, normally I'm not even here on Tuesdays. The only reason I did it today is because my client canceled. She rescheduled. And this thought came to me in the middle of the night. And it was almost like something said, you have to start it back up. Just start it back up. Just do it. Go ahead. Jump yourself in the water. The water's fine. I had a lot of self-guilt about my breakup. I had a lot of things going on in my mind, but it was almost like it was just time. So if I do it, though, it'll probably be on Mondays around 7 because Mondays is like a low-key day for me. All right. So just to close this segment, I wrote this affirmation. If you want to write it down, you know what? Let me post this affirmation in here. And I'm going to say it. Oh, wait, dang. I ended up putting it in here by mistake. Anyway. And it is, I honor the voice of my womb because you got to talk to her. You got to listen to her because she knows what she's doing. She knows what she's doing. That's your creator. Okay. She's always going to create for you. I honor the wisdom of my heart because we got to honor both. Okay. Your heart and your womb. The clarity of my head, because we got to start making decisions as women being clear. All right. You cannot go into things being so loop-de-loop and doop-de-doop, whoop-de-whoop, lost, just making decisions because somebody look good. That's dumb. Okay. Somebody look good. And you're like, oh my God. You're telling your friends, he's so fine. I like him. How you know? How you know you like him? Like, what do you know about this guy? Like, is he good? Is he good to people? And how he treat his mother? If he has one. Some people moms pass like mine. So they don't have their mom. But how do they treat their mom, their godmoms, their aunt, their sisters, the women in their family? Do they honor them? Or do they have a disdain for the women in their family? Because you'll be surprised. Usually men that have a disdain for women, that disdain happened a long time ago. Okay. This is the part that really bothers me sometimes about what women and men talk about, is the fact that they'll be like, yeah, you know, because women this and women that. But y'all be the ones that be holding on to stuff. Y'all be still mad at the girl that said no to you going to the dance. Like, why are you still holding that? You're 48 years old. Why are you still talking about the girl that turned you down when you were 14? Like, sir, let it go. It's okay. And then you go to her. She don't even remember what happened. She's like, who was that? Like, I didn't even know that he liked me. Is she young and dumb? And whole time he's so mad as an adult. Literally, you know, he get a job and he see her and he walking past her like, yeah, you wish you had. No, she doesn't, sir. She don't remember you. Get over it. Stop. Because you very rarely, seldomly hear women talking about the guy from when she was 12. Most women's hurt and trauma comes from recent things. Guys, that thing go way back. They be holding that thing for forever. Like, come on. Y'all got to start to learn to let stuff go, y'all. Like, for real. For real. Okay? We didn't mean it. My God. Like, we was young. You know? So, just, y'all listen. I had to do this one because I know that we make bad decisions a lot of times, and then we want to blame the person. We want to blame the hurt solely on the person. Like when you go through a breakup, you always want to blame the person that didn't do what you wanted them to do. But you got to take accountability too. Like, why you didn't leave? Why didn't you value yourself enough to speak up? And if you did speak up and nothing changed, why did you stay? And if you kept being hurt, you kept being unheard, you kept being disrespected, you kept being, devalued, why did you stay? What inside, what principle? Was it the vow to death do us part? Was it church? Was it that, we thought it was going to be something that it wasn't? But there is something that's causing you to stay. I know for me, I always had spiritual guilt for everything. I lived with spiritual guilt. Like, oh my God, God is not going to be pleased. God is not going to be pleased. He's not going to be pleased. Like, I'm the one that made this commitment. I should have thought about this before I made it. I'm the one that got myself into this. I should have thought about this when I made the commitment. People were telling me not to do it. I did it anyway. This is all my, like, I had so much guilt. So much. When we probably would have been better off apart a long time ago and just been good friends and raise our kid and go from there. Like, but I had so much guilt and I was always just trying to make it work, doing the best I could, changing this, changing that, changing this, changing that. Till one day I woke up, I didn't even know who I was anymore. It was like, what more do I have to change or I won't even be me? You might as well call me Jinxie Cat because I don't even know my name anymore. What do I like? What do I not like? Like, okay, you might have been a womb choice because definitely, but I lost myself in that womb choice. And the womb choice ended up being a heart choice for me as well. But when it came to my head choice, it didn't really align at all. It just wasn't something that it just didn't align at all. So, part of the accountability of the choices we make fall on us and why we made the choices and the person we were when we made the choice. Okay. So you have to make a declaration that you're going to wait for your triple yes. You're going to wait for your womb, heart, and head to line up. And until he or that shows up, you're going to become that for yourself. Make them come on all the way faster, all the time faster. But in the meantime, y'all, okay? That's all for today. I'm not going to hold y'all. I need to go get some wine because y'all saw I didn't drink wine and everything. I have really shifted, y'all. Like, I really shifted. I didn't even have my wine during my podcast. I didn't really cuss nobody out today. I didn't really go crazy. God is doing the work. He's doing the work. I'm telling you. But anyway, y'all, thank you so much for being back here for my relaunch. I'm going to put this affirmation in the comments, and I'm also going to put the affirmation in the Divine Feminine group if you want it. And, ladies, we will go from there. But listen, just because everybody has a mic does not mean we have to listen to their philosophies. It doesn't mean we have to get caught in the propaganda. It doesn't mean we have to get caught in the podcast of the men against women. Like, why can't we all just get along? Like, we're here for each other. And to be 100% honest, neither one of us ain't shit, okay? The men or the women. We trying our best out here. We're all trying our best. But it's not like one group is better than the other, you know, and the guys are better than the girls are better than guys. It's not. We just all trying to do our best. That's all we can do. So, like, don't get caught up in the negativity and the propaganda, because I find myself looking at it sometimes and I just have to cut it off, because I'm like, I don't feel like that about men. I don't. I think they're amazing. But at the same time, you know, we all need some work. But for the most part, I'm not a man basher. And then when I hear the men talking about women, I'm like, dude, do you like men? Because it don't even sound like you like the traits of women. Because you complaining about every single trait that's a woman trait. Do you like girls? Or do you want to be married to a guy or with a guy that wears a dress? Because that's what it sounds like you want. I'm so confused with what's going on out here, guys. But anyway, thank y'all so much for watching. And I love y'all. I will talk to y'all later.